Here, let me give you a tiny tip of how Nollywood started, right? I mean, the second phase of it, the 1980s. Nollywood was sold out by electrical salesmen, men who sell DVDs, TVs. They will do these DVDs, filmmakers will do their films, give them, they take these films, go to international markets, Cameroon being one of them, sell these films. And then when they sell these films, they come back with a review. This is what the audience wants. So all of that activity developed a model for Nigerian films based on the feedback that they got from the different communities. The filmmakers sat back and said, okay, this is what the audience likes. This is the actor the audience likes. If you notice the 2000s, there was a specific trend of films.
They were dancing with some particular actors.
You understand? And there's specific genres that they were more invested in. This was because of feedback from the community. And that is the responsibility of the marketing sector to observe and study this and then bring out a model to say, okay, we're in a bilingual country. We have 250 indigenous languages. We have 2 official languages. We have different cultures. How do we set up a model that encompasses all of this so that when you distribute, guess what? There are Nollywood films. Nollywood translates films now in French. They dub it in French and they are occupying the French market. Yeah. And we're sitting there and they are occupying the Cameroonian French market. That's marketing. That is studying your audience and knowing how to use the present situation. Even online marketing, with the marketing board still needs to hire an online professional marketer to teach us. I mean, it has to even translate to when the script is being designed.
So from looking at the whole thing, what you're trying to say is like, the lapses in the Cameroon film industry is coming more from the marketing. The marketing.
He has been saying that since.
Yes.
Okay.
So by that, I can say the industry does not exist. Why? Because it does not have that element, that key element of it.
The industry, when you say that, you can go to any country, they will tell you that there's an industry. Because once there's an industry, right? Your point of that the industry doesn't exist is because there is no structurized system.
So how can you say then there is an industry?
Now, every country will have that. You understand? Every country will have that.
But they are still functioning.
They are functioning because
if it's not running, then it means...
Because the thing is, like when you get some of the point that Abu Gilbert is trying to raise, right? Every country has a system, right? And there's always a system that works locally first. But if that system doesn't work locally in a way that it is properly structured and organized.
Locally.
You understand?
See, Rene, you guys have already identified the problem. The government does not want to. Okay. What are people doing as individuals now? What are you saying? What are you doing as individuals?
That is why Gilbert is trying to say that it's not a one-man thing. Because, first of all, the ecosystem. An industry exists in an ecosystem, and when that ecosystem is not there, you will be seeing the industry like it doesn't exist, just there in the air. Because when there's an ecosystem, industry is what? It's a chain of other sub-industries.
Rene, I'm still not buying
you. understand?
I am still not. You didn't tell me.
His main problem is the delivery of the end product, because at the end of the day, it's the product.
That is what an industry should be about. When your product means the consumer. If it doesn't get to me, how do you...
Rene, to be honest, like what he said, Gilbert is talking about the fact that we should brand ourselves. I like the branding thing and all of that, but like you said, I have numerous actors from different countries, Ghana, Nigeria, that it is just a movie. Yeah. Okay, let me take an example like this lady, Ruth Kadiri. I don't know where she took that young guy, Chidi.
Yeah.
Chike. Brought him up, started pushing him. Yeah. Something we don't have. Cameroonian producers, they test actors. You get it? They don't have that culture which of the 2000s when Nigerians were dancing with Pede Duce, Mama G,
Sam Loco,
dancing with them.
Yeah, correct.
So we don't have that. We are testing the waters. Since 2008, they are still testing the waters. So now, if an actor,
like testing
since 2008. Now, if you like, for example, him. If his movie, like the Storm, I managed to discuss with the producer of Storm. He even showed me 1 or 2 things in the Storm, and it was quite interesting, but it's not yet out. I even asked him why. He said the platform where this movie can fit in, he does not yet have the road. He tried to talk with Can Quintus and the others. But the truth is, you have not been sold. If you were sold out there and you become global, now you have something that can push you to do the
lifestyle, because he has a company.
Trust me, I cannot spend my money now on making lifestyle. It makes it look.
So in other words, the marketing guild is not what.
But the marketing now and then. It's
not the same.
It was easier then.
We have switched.
It's happening.
You talk about
example.
I think it's easier now because of all of the internet. It was difficult then.
No, it was easier then.
Back
then there were very few options.
Yeah.
You just had a DVD. You have to go and buy a CD and come and play.
Yeah, but technology was not as.
We're talking about
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So it was easier because people were glued to some particular.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, we're listening. Yes.
There's a lot of I think that we need to, like what my brother Rene was saying, the ecosystem is different. The ecosystem is different. Bernard talked about today they are dubbing Nollywood films into French. Mm-hmm. Put the same in Cameroonian context. How many of us who do films in English go to Canal and TV Sengmood and Nollywood TV to want to sell these same films and dub them in French? They refuse to buy them. If I am lazy, I don't think Elvis, who's there, is also a lazy filmmaker from the English-speaking extraction. It is called soft power.
Soft power.
The Francophone system is pushing us towards that position of desperation that we should start creating content in French. They tried it back in the 2000, introducing Coopération Française, Institut Français, Africa. Write your script, come with it, and then you have the script has to be in French for us to be able to finance it. Some people resisted. It's called soft power. It's a process of assimilation. It's a process of recolonization of the mindset of the English-speaking Cameroonians. Ngwabenar will never see that. Now, let me bring this to your attention, Mr. Ngwabenar. As an actor that you are, you need just a teaser like what Elvis has done. It is your responsibility after that movie. You come and meet Lyonga and book you for maybe 2 or 3 sessions of 3 different programs for you to talk about yourself and your film. You go to every channel. It is your responsibility to have a show reel, an electronic press kit, and a process of marketing yourself. You have the right, Mr. Ngwabenar, to call your producer and executive producer, can I have excerpts of the films? The film I did with you, I need to carry out my own outreach publicity to position myself as an actor. It is your right. No producer or executive producer can refuse that. Now, looking at Cameroon, no matter how we look at it, the board of the Cameroon film industry has tried in so many ways. We introduced MTN TV. It did not work.
It did not work.
The bills were too much. We reroute with Yabadoo. Yabadoo came. The taxes were too high for MTN to survive and MTN to sell database. It did not work. We went into Film Room. Film Room came at a point when Film Room was supposed to skyrocket. The Cameroon laws do not make differentiation between a cable TV and an online platform. The same implementation of the cable TV is what goes for the online platform. Musing Derek could not continue, it crashed. So there are so many options that we've put on the table. Why did Netflix leave Cameroon? Netflix left Cameroon because we did not have subscription in Cameroon. Are there people watching Netflix in Cameroon? Yes. If you go to their office, they can see the projection on the streamings in Cameroon. But these accounts are borrowed from family members abroad. And that is why we went to UBA and other banks to see if they can create a prepaid system of Visa card where people can do subscription. That's why we also went to Netflix to say, can we use mobile money? Cameroonians were not trained to own bank account, but everybody seemingly owns a mobile money account. Can that work? We've looked for many options. to which this can work. But when you look at this option, the leverage, what is the leverage point? The leverage point is the actor. It's not me, the producer, or Elvis. The leverage point, I repeat, is the actor. Who is the face of Silent Stop? It's Ngwa Bernard. It is not Franklin. It is not Elvis. It is not me. If Ngwa Bernard is not relevant enough, these platforms will not find the movie attractive. First, they look at the relevance, presence of the lead character before looking into the storyline and everything that comes with it.
Okay, let me ask you. There was a point you raised that Nigerian filmmakers, they build their actors, they consistently use their faces and make them popular. But here in Cameroon, it's difficult for Cameroonian filmmakers to use, build a face. So what do you have to say to that? Because, I mean, if they were to pick one person and capitalize on that individual, yes.
When I joined the film industry, there was no social media.
Mm-hmm.
In Nigeria, they had what they call Hints magazine. In Cameroon, they had what they call Amongst Youth and 100% Jeune. And at that time, the likes of Yijika Solange Ojong, Ivan Name were at the peak of it. Every movie, you had them. Now, the disgruntled ones, who are the younger ones who lack respect, will say, why are they using only these people? Why are they not trying us too? But they fail to understand that we're trying to build faces and build celebrities, those that they can be identified as actors. So everybody's in a hurry. Everybody feels entitled like it's my time. Now, those eras have gone. And don't forget, Madam Daniel Lyonga, Cameroon suffers from the fate of the worst country amongst the other creative countries in terms of piracy. We do the worst piracy in Cameroon. That which is cable. No country in the world pirates cable. We do pirate cable, which means we are vulnerable to every channel on this planet that can buy Cameroonian films. Because if you go to Africa, to DSTV today, go to any home, you watch DSTV, those people don't own DSTV decoders. Somebody is pirating that cable from the back of their house and sharing the images from one neighbor to another and collecting money. Ironically, the only minister who tried to want to stop that initiative was Minister Issa Chiroma Bakari. The rest who come are all aligning themselves with this criminal organization that is pirating the future of Ngwa Bernard, the future of Faith Fidel, the future of Mireille Blanche, and the rest. So it is what I consider as a lack of intentionality. There is lack of intentionality in Cameroon, and even the bloggers and the media personalities also follow in that rhetoric of lack of intentionalities. We push the negativity more than we push anything good that we have ever achieved in this industry. There's only porousness that is made available. If you go on YouTube, you type Cameroonian films, you see the most ugly films will pop out because when the people want to upload the films, they say Cameroonian film. So it's difficult to identify that which is bad at that stage, and it is at the forefront of it.
Okay, now my next question, the marketing guild, because that is still our problem. How is the marketing guild helping these young actors?
The marketing guild is not supposed to help the actors because the marketing guilds do not sell films. What does the marketing guilds do? They outsource. They outsource TV platforms, TV channels, and say, okay, look, we are members of the Cameroon film industry, and we are reaching out to you to say, Madam Daniel Lyonga, your TV channel should buy Cameroonian films, and we have so and so titles. And when that arrangement is interesting to either your TV channel or any other TV channel, they'll say, let's have a meeting. Now, the meeting will take place within the marketing guild and members of the different guilds, or possibly just the board of directors who go to actually have build a memorandum of understanding. We've done that with Yabadu. We've done that with Netflix. We've done that with Amazon. In 2016, we invited Africa Magic to Cameroon during CAMIF. In 2017, we invited Netflix to Cameroon. In 2018, we invited Amazon to Cameroon. Our biggest right now has been the possibilities of achieving monetization with YouTube. Now, if we achieve monetization with YouTube, then the Marketers Guild has the leverage to present the structure of the Cameroon film industry and the process at which YouTube can also achieve make some money, because don't forget, YouTube is a revenue share platform. Mm-hmm. The adverts that are attached to the film, that is how they make money. They don't just come. That's why you saw platforms like Spotify leaving Cameroon, because there are no adverts attached to the songs that are played by Cameroonian artists.
Yeah, I have a question though. If content creators are able to make money from there, because when they say YouTube monetization is a problem, content creators like myself, you're able to make money from the content that you put on YouTube. How come filmmakers are finding it difficult? Because I cannot relate. There has to be a disconnect somewhere.
Which content creator?
Content creators, YouTubers like myself, will make money. Which content creator
is making money?
I'm making money on YouTube. On YouTube, putting my reaction videos. Yeah. I actually do make money on YouTube. Okay. And it's so easy. The moment you get 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours, boom, you're monetized. So I don't understand why, yeah.
How is your platform managed?
Yeah, in Cameroon. I created my channel here in Cameroon. And I upload here in Cameroon still.
Then it is very important. It is very important. It is very important that we acquire that knowledge. We have a film and a business and film workshop during CAMIF. Okay. It is also very important that you join the platform with the likes of Artem Harris to give an insight of how yours is working. And you might work for you in a different way, but I know that majority, even the artists, the musicians themselves, are also having problem not achieving monetization with their platform. For those who are achieving monetization with their platform, actually their platforms are being managed from elsewhere, either from Europe or from Canada or from even the Francophones have the same problem. So it's not just an Anglophone problem. Most Francophones go to Ivory Coast to monetize their platforms, and most go as far as Belgium or France. So as far as I'm concerned, Cameroon is not monetized. So I don't know how it works for you. But if you can come and share all that knowledge with some of us and the young film enthusiasts, we'll happily invite you for the Film and Business Boya Mountain Hotel.
Okay, very well. Bernard, you have any question?
No, not really a question, but I'll say this, darling Lyonga. I think the whole subject of us being in a complex and contradictory position as Anglophones in Cameroon, and the fact that perhaps the state doesn't really support and kind of instead limits the growth of the film industry. I would think it's obvious. I'll say this, maybe not very obvious, but I think all the filmmakers over time have realized that. How do we go around that though? How do we go around the fact that the cable network, the piracy of the cable is not going to stop anytime soon? How do we go around the fact that CRTV is not going to start acquiring Anglophone content anytime soon? How do we go around that as filmmakers? That's why I say we need to understand our context and our position, and then find a model to harness and work around it so that we can reach out our local audience or an international audience.
Oh, you keep complaining. So Daikin.com. But now each year, during CAMIF, you bring international, I think, actors, Nigeria, Ghana. We've seen the likes of Nadia Buhari, Juliet Ibrahim, and all. Now, I believe that the essence is networking, but I've not been able to see the impact. I don't know if you have. You're free to come in, because the rate at which, let's say, Ghana, Nigeria, the way they understand that they work together. You see the progress, you see the results, you see it. But now every year they come to Cameroon, we are yet to see the result, because even the Cameroonians who are featured in Nollywood films, they call them waka pass roles. Those roles barely help them. The other time, Soliebe was celebrating the fact that she was showcased in the film, but upon watching it, she had just one scene. Do you know what I mean? And that was it. Taku was doing the same thing. They made her the maid. I think she had 3 scenes, and boom, which has no impact on her life as an actor. You say. So my question is, how is CAMIF intending to fixing this particular problem? Bringing them, they go back, but we'll take the pictures, the hype and all. But how has it been able to help the industry? You be Mr. Abogibet. Okay, answer.
I attended Camp MIF.
Yeah.
I attended just once, and it was quite interesting because it's a 5 to 6 days program. Now, we had the likes of with 2 males from Nigeria. I've forgotten their names.
Alex, those Alex.
Yeah.
Alex Ekubo.
So we had master classes, and there were a lot of lessons pushed through free. Now, when he's talking about inviting you and some other persons, these people come and they give up the tips.
We're talking now how to export. We've gone past the master classes, right?
This is my worry now, like Ruth Kadiri coming in.
Right.
And how does it impact? What's the impact? How does it help us? That's what you're asking, right? The truth is, I saw no impact from Ruth Kadiri in respect to the fact that the Passion TV, I was with Passion TV, they had to even meet up with her and kind of had a conversation like, let us look at it this way. You have a channel. Is there a possibility for a collaboration? Like, can you take 1 or 2 movies in Cameroon? You're in Cameroon, right? You came for Cameroon Film Festival. Is there a possibility that you can link us to your channel with 1 or 2 movies, which would go a long way to help? Now, that was boiled down. Now, the second point is, how do we do the collaboration since we are already collaborating in the CAMIF itself? How do we do the collaboration to the extent where we can benefit from the marketing part? Because they were talking a lot about the marketing. They focus on the fact that we don't know marketing, we don't have a good marketing strategy and whatnot. So we were focused too on that. How do we go forward with this? I did not get a conclusion when we went with that team.
Voila. Okay.
How do they help us?
Because for me, like, we need more Cameroonian actors in Nigeria. They have to invade Nollywood, you say. And fine, Cameroon, the ecosystem from everything you've said, the government is not helping a lot, but we have to find a solution, isn't it? Now, which I think is about looking for neighboring markets. Now, that's where the Nigerians and the Ghanaians come in. Of recent, Ghana and South Africa, they signed an MOU. You see, like, their creative industry to work together. So how is it, like, how does it work for Cameroonians, the English-speaking creatives? Because we want to see more of you guys in Nigeria, more of you guys in Ghana. When they are shooting their film, they should bring 1 from Cameroon, 1 from this, 1 from that, 1 from that. So, Mr. Abogibet, how is CAMIF intending on solving this problem? Or do you think it's a problem that's already been solved and we don't just understand yet?
Like I said, the Cameroon International Film Festival was created to bridge the gap between content creators and content buyers. Now, if we manage to bring 1 channel, 1 platform that can buy a Cameroonian film every year, we've done our part. The network is between Mr. Elvis, who is a content creator with a film already produced, to navigate the waters and see how they can sell their film. That is no longer our responsibility. We bridge the gap. Now, when you look at people like Ruth Kadiri, with her huge following on social media and YouTube, yes, do not forget Prishma James is a Cameroonian, but she's featuring in films produced by Ruth Kadiri and many other Nigerians. You have to learn how to humble yourself and network. If you don't humble yourself and network and feel like you're already established, because you featured in the number of films that are sticky in your head, that because I've featured in this number of films, I'm already established. That is your choice. I saw Eyina humble himself towards Joel. Joel Ayok is Cameroonian, but he's based in the Caribbean. And they went to the Caribbean island and did a film. Okay. So first, you have to know how to approach the people whom you want to work with. Unlike other countries, Cameroon is the only country where an actor feels like he has the right to stand face to face and talk to an executive producer or a producer because you are an actor. No, you are being employed by the executive producer and producer. So you are subject. You are not mate, no matter how you look at it. You cannot stand and challenge your employer and then you expect them to want to push you to grow. So at the end of the day, people need to know how to network. Ruth Kadiri came. We've done our part to make her to come. How you approach her, my dear sister, my friend, my colleague, how are you? You take her number. Please, if there's something coming up, let me come. don't put too many conditions. But for some of them, just like many of them don't come to Camif on the basis of I don't give them room at Mountain Hotel. They will say, I will not go to Nigeria to shoot if they don't buy my ticket, buy me first class.
Oh,
The value you're adding to that production is 0.0%.
That's true.
As terms of distribution.
True.
Until you get to that position where your personal and your presence in that film make meaning. And please stop reducing film scenes as if they mean nothing. Samuel L. Jackson featured in one scene in Coming to America. He was a robber who entered into the restaurant to want to rob people. And that scene made him a global star. So it is not how many scenes you act or the lead character you act that will make you a prominent figure. But when the movie Coming to America came out, there was no social media. But go and look at his story.
Yeah, I understand, but if you give me a role, I'm part of the crowd, how does that benefit me? I'm just, everybody are like, Che. That one does not benefit me.
You have to freeze the movie to see you.
That's what I'm saying, like, Che. So, I mean, it's not like we're trying to minimize the little sins, but...
But Soli Egbe, when you mention Soli Egbe had lines in that film. And there are many people who have lines in those films.
No,
there are many people.
Right, the internet.
There are some Cameroonians. There are some Cameroonians who are making good strides in Nigeria. If you go to Thailand, one of the biggest African actor is a Cameroonian. Willie, he did a movie with this guy of Transporter. What's his name?
Jason Statham.
So there are so many people out of the country who are making strides.
No, we know, but yes. we mean the ones that are here. The local Cameroonians.
How do they help?
No, we mean it's not about
the local Cameroonians.
You want to say something?
The local Lyonga.
Mr. Abogibe, they want to tell you something.
My darling sister.
You want to listen to him? I just want to talk to you.
No,
yes. Wait, hold on.
I'm adding something to what he was saying.
Network too will not even allow him to.
Like before they tell me, before the Cameroonian actors.
You have to take it back. The network
trying to fan the egos of Cameroonian.
Network will not allow us.
I am saying that we should stop trying to fan the egos of Cameroonian actors who are still yet to identify themselves.
Okay, Mr. Elvis.
You know, like Mr. Gilbert said something. He said, go on YouTube and type Cameroonian film.
See ugly films.
See ugly films. It's like, so, before you go out to sell a product, it should be a good product. Mm-hmm. You cannot carry trash and you're going to sell to people and expect them to buy it because they want to support you. Yeah. You understand? So I think I look at all of these things. Even when I blame the Cameroonians for not watching Cameroonian movies, trust me, it's the perception they already have about Cameroonian films. Yeah.
Oh, that your films are not good.
Yes.
Even if you are killing it.
Trust me, when you say Cameroonian film, that film they do and so. Because I watched one or two, really bad films, and then I've watched so many bad films that even when a good film comes out, they don't even take time to watch it again. At times they didn't watch it, they're like, "Mama, I mean, a Cameroonian film this, so I can't film." And you're like, they are so shocked to see a good movie.
Right.
So I think that one way we can also help ourselves is by getting knowledge, do good products. I don't know. I know that in Nigeria there was a time where they had guilds. There's a time where I think up to now, if you're not a member of a particular guild, you cannot be on the field working.
Yeah.
And for you to be a member of that guild, you have to be trained. Before you start going out working, you have to be trained. So I think like quality control. Let's control.
But quality control is getting Nigeria, all of Nigeria, they get at that level.
They did that from the beginning.
Okay, the beginning. Okay, very
well. Because if they start controlling it at one point, and then let's say you watch one Cameroonian film and you're, the Cameroonian film this, the second one, Jesus, this people don't change. That's how you start getting the people's attention.
Yeah.
We are not living Cameroon is not a vacuum. We are not living in a vacuum. Countries have done worse, and every nation has a strength. There's an office in Yaoundé headed by a gentleman called Joe Chobonke Kalabose, and he controls even your sector, Madame Lyonga. That office has the right and has access for example, with Google, to tell them, you see this content, it does not paint a good picture when it talks about the film industry. We want to strip it down. Google will strip it completely down. And that's why you see in some countries, they have a very vibrant censor board.
Censor board, yeah.
And before you upload,
you have to go through
Google
censor
will ask
board.
you to present, they'll ask you to present a censor certificate from your censor board.
Okay.
But in Cameroon, yes, in Cameroon, there was once a time Mr. Alex Mbiao went by the book to want to implement all of these laws. Actors rebel who were refusing to be members of the Cameroon film industry at that time, rebelled that they will not join. I'll give you another clear example. I was once the board chair of the chairman of the Oscars viewing committee for Cameroon. I was there for 3 years. And Can Quintus, in his usual loudness and ignorance, came and said, we were not going through the right process to select films. We were doing handpicking.
Handpicking.
And in the course of doing handpicking, we submitted his film, The Fisherman's Diary, which he celebrated as the first Cameroonian film to be at the Oscars. So in the course of the handpicking, when we selected Planter's Plantation and Hidden Dreams, which he was not in accordance with that, he started writing trash on social media. It made it to become more complex for Cameroonians now to submit films at the Oscars. The Oscars viewing committee became a questionable organization for credibility. And with that, he also introduced the statement used by Ngwa Bernard that it was not inclusive, that Francophones were not part of it. But how did we go into the Oscars? We went into the Oscars as Cameroon Film Industry. We did not go as Camif or Agbo Gibet, it was age production. So when you're filling the form, there is a position that they will ask you, industry. When you put Cameroon Film Industry, they say guild. You put the guild. At the end of the filling, when you're submitting the backup documents, I have to submit your ID as a producer. And that is what happened with this year edition, that the movie Mabanda that was presented at the Oscars could not go because the individual in question identified himself as not a member of either of the guilds, but an independent filmmaker. But there is no category at the Oscars for independent filmmakers. So when you look at the problems we are facing in Cameroon, even when it comes to the censor board, it's because of the oversabi and the bad faith of the very Cameroonians who are complaining. If everybody respected the industry as it's supposed to be, Madame Lyonga will not for day hear the cry. I joined the industry in 1999 in Nigeria. I went to film school in Nigeria. I got scholarship. I went to Algeria. If I've invested my life, I've invested at least close to 3 decades of my life in trying to understand how to make the industry better for myself and for other people. When I went to the Netflix, I have a film. The title is Far. But I know deep down in my subconsciousness that the film I had was not up to the quality and standard that the Netflix was expecting. And that is why I stood behind the film, The Therapy. If I was selfish, I would have pushed my own film and blocked the opportunities for the entire industry.
Thank you.
But when you look at the industry today, you have individuals where if it is not my own, it should not be anybody. And it comes back to the fact that people don't assume responsibility for the lack of inclusion and the lack of awareness. And when we create a structure like CAMIF, it's so much so that every year we meet, we discuss issues affecting the world market and Cameroon in particular. How do we penetrate this world market? And that is something that if I don't give a room to the likes of Ngwa Bernard at Mountain Hotel, they will not come. And then when they sit on platforms like your own, they will now start talking about the industry does not exist. How do they even get this information if they don't partake in conversations like this? Well, Ngwa Bernard is just a stray bullet. It's not personal. I hope you understand that.
Very well. Mr. have you attended CAMIF?
No, I've not attended CAMIF
Why?
yet. I've not submitted
Your film either.
I mean, not like I don't want to attempt Kamif. Like he just said something now that when he went to Netflix, he had a movie far that he could actually send. But he said to himself, he realized that the movie he has
is not up to the standard.
is not up to the standard.
So he has to push another.
Yes, I have respect for film festivals.
Okay.
So it makes it in a way that I don't just submit my film because I want to submit it. I respect this is a film festival. This is where films go to compete. It has to be good cinematography. It has to be good storytelling. I mean, it's not just because I took a camera and I shot a film that I have to send it
So
there.
you believe your films are not good? That's why you don't think
I believe back then, like when at a point where I had to start sending my films. You understand? I didn't send this film, but when I sat back and I look at the type of films that people sent. Trust me.
I
know say my own play 10 times better.
Okay.
I don't understand. So it discouraged me.
For Mateni Kamif.
Because if I'm going to a film festival, I'm going to for my film to compete. I'll come back. If my film wins, I should be proud that I did something.
Okay.
But trust me, the festival, like as we speak, I've submitted my film to some festivals. And I look at the movies that are competing with them. Some of them are already on YouTube. I go and I watch them. And if I win in that category, I'll not be proud of myself because
you cheat.
if I win, it's just like it's normal.
Yes.
Okay.
There was no competition.
Okay.
So I won competition.
Okay. Very well.
You understand?
Very well.
Yes.
Well, Bernard.
Yeah, no, man, I don't know how that works. It's just because I think I've been in a few of your films. I think that for the past 4 or 5 years, you have done good films. Good films that.
Is it about self-esteem though?
He has a film that has 1 million views. I think he's the only Cameroonian filmmaker that has a film on YouTube with 1 million views. That is relevance.
Of course, yes.
And that needs to be shouted on top, mountaintop. And I think that, Kamif is that space where these issues need to be celebrated, right? Sometimes it's not just about winning per se. It's about creating a space where a producer can see another actor.
Yes.
The film might not be the best actor.
Or another good film.
Yeah. But a producer will say, oh, I know this actor performs well. Let me use this actor for my own movie. And so that is a tiny bit that, grows the industry as a whole.
Let me ask you this question. The last time we spoke, you said you were in Nigeria.
Yeah.
What stops if you have that base already? Why are you not taking your film there, where they already have the market and they have the same language, English?
Yeah.
What's stopping you from establishing yourself there?
The reason why I went to Nigeria, I actually I reside there right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I walk like to and fro. Yeah. So the reason I went there is not like I went to join Nollywood. I went to Nigeria because, I believe that because a lot of my films, almost all of them go to YouTube. I'm trying to build something. Now, when I shoot films with Cameroonian actors, really good films, I put them on YouTube. Some do well, some don't do well. And then I'm trying to when I look at some of the Nigerian films that they do, I look at how bad the quality is. But I look at the number of views that they have. Well. It comes to that marketing, the faces that they have, on the thumbnail. Yeah, you see Maurice Sam, you see this person. So I'm like, okay, now how do I get these people to work on my film? I contacted a Nigerian actress. Okay, it's a model. I was like, okay, Mom, I have this film I'm doing. I'm calling from Cameroon. I have this film I'm doing. I'd like you to come and, if you can do some roles for me, some scenes for me. And she asked me $10,000. Where do I get $10,000 from? You understand? She asked me $10,000. Jeez. I cannot afford $10,000. Now, okay, let me go to Nigeria. Why don't I go there? I'll carry my cameras, go there. I'll take the Cameroonian actor. It's a Cameroonian film, but I want to use her. I want to fly her to Cameroon. I will go to Nigeria. This $10,000 did not include her flight. I had to pay her flight, hotel, and logistics. So my reason for going there is to be there, so I can bring actors. Bring actors. I can start shooting a movie here. The scenes that needed a Nigerian actor, I prefer to take the Cameroonian actor from here, travel to Nigeria. They don't even know it's a Cameroonian film they're shooting because at times these actors they don't even care to know. They just they are giving you 2 days. Just their scenes, they just do their scene into there and they are gone. So I go there and I use the other camera actor and I shoot it. At the end of the day, I put the film.
It's logical.
It's just pathetic to hear this because, man, Nollywood, the recent generation filmmakers in Nollywood and actors, they are benefiting from what Nollywood had done.
Their forefathers, the Patience of Zukwa, Peter Doche.
Regardless of how bad their movies are, there's a perception that have been put out there.
Their films are good.
Simple.
Yeah.
They have the faces.
Yes.
And so some Africans will want to watch a movie because they want to see Maurice Sam. They want to see Uche Montana. Finish.
Yeah.
But we don't have that. See, this is a filmmaker now moving. He has been in Cameroon for a long time. Now he's moving to Nigeria. That tells a lot about our context. It tells a lot about where we are. And so, are we saying that everybody should now humble to Nollywood? Every filmmaker and actor in Cameroon should humble to Nollywood. Go to Nollywood.
Excuse me.
Because Stephen Etom is doing this.
And he's doing it too.
Stephen Etom is doing this. This is the second filmmaker. Eventually, probably will have a third. There are actors before Prisma and Okawa Shasni and Audrey. There are other actors, male actors that have gone to Nollywood and acted. What has it done to them? So if we want to agree to bow to Nollywood, let me put it in quotes, let us be intentional. Let's accept that, okay, we don't have a market. And let's do it in an organized form. Right, we lobby and then we go there and say, okay, let's be intentional.
Very well. I have this question. We have a few more minutes to go, then you can give your thoughts. Okay. The last set of actors that I had in the studio, they spoke about the disconnect that the older generation, the established actors, refuses to hold the hands of the younger generation. They consider them to be less. They don't want to work with them, So that is one of the problems because, there's no unity, there's no togetherness. They don't want to share their platforms with them. What do you have to say as someone who has been in the industry for the longest time and as one of the stakeholders? How do we fix this problem?
Personally, I don't think that there is any existence of clique in the industry because personally, I don't have a problem with anybody. I think I go to places and when they ask for recommendation, I recommend even those who are supposedly not to be my friends. And I also have the right not to make friends with everybody in the industry. We must not be friends, but we can still work together. Now, for those who don't want to support the industry, they are not in the industry. If you go on their social media page, you'll see them. If it does not concern them, they will share nothing about anybody else. So it is not a hidden secret that there are some people in the industry who are so personal and individual. They don't support anything about the industry, but they expect everybody to support them when their own come. So when these young people are crying and they are complaining, they have a point. And we have reached out to talk to some people, not because you did not feature in that film or the poster of that film that young man did, you cannot share it. It will just take one share on your profile. You don't even know how many people will come to reshare, and that will drag attention to your own profile, to your own account. But so I will encourage the young ones not to give up, to keep on trying, to keep on believing. I have believed till now. There is still the hope to getting to that destination is still bleak, but I'm still believing, and I believe in them. They should never give up.
Nelson, you have to do better, improve to the young actors before they can bring you.
Which is a key point.
But because it relates to what Mr. Abogibe said, you guys sometimes are a bit entitled because you feel like they should.
Now, I will reject it to an extent, the fact that it is assumed. Because of the nature in which we find ourselves, it's assumed. There has never been a day that I have been disrespectful to or entitled to any.
No, when we say you, it's not you.
Yeah, I'm talking about me and others. Like, I want to put myself.
Speak for yourself. You cannot speak for the others.
Okay, like I've worked with him.
You're right.
He can stand and vouch for me. There has never been a day that I have gone out of character as a person.
Okay.
Now, there has never been a day that I've been entitled that I must be given this particular portfolio.
But do you believe that others are? It's not you.
I have not witnessed a lot, but I know there is this assumption. Trust me, there are a lot of assumptions according to what they're saying, that the younger generation, they are too entitled. But I still don't see it, because each day we go on auditions and the rest, you see them, they are very humble. So where is the entitlement coming from? I try to look for it.
But you're not finding it.
I'm not finding it.
Mr. Bernard.
Yes, my final words will be a request to the Cameroon film industry, as we say, exists. Let us sober a little bit on these high-end international platforms and support
Local platform.
producers. We have a platform now, YouTube, and we know Anglophone filmmakers that are putting effort in YouTube. Let the Cameroon film industry be intentional about supporting them.
Okay.
We know of Lilian. It will surprise you, even myself. I was surprised the kind of attention I got after featuring in Ben Lilian's film, Way Home. I was the lead actor.
Yeah.
People will see me in the streets in places that I least expect and recognize me from that.
Wow.
So let's sober on this Netflix and this bit.
It's like they minimize this YouTube production. So
it is important, but Cameroon film industry should be intentional and should, mobilize these filmmakers, these YouTube filmmakers that are putting in effort, like himself. Let's start with them, because we just made mention of something here, that Nigerian Nollywood invited some Ghanaian actors. Why? Because these Ghanaian actors had relevance in their context.
True.
If we don't have relevance, we cannot create value and relevance in our context.
So we have to create the local value.
Yes, so that is would be my request.
Okay.
Cameroon film industry should support these local filmmakers that are doing YouTube films.
Very well.
Because it goes round. If we're able to push this film out there, the actors get their films out there, and it creates market for us.
Okay, very well. Mr. Abogibet, we're going to conclude with you. You have anything to say? Oh, very good. Mr. Abogibet, so we're concluding with this request that instead of focusing on Netflix and all, how about you mobilize and support YouTube? YouTube is here, and it's a better platform and fed, because we see even the way Nollywood film are getting the views. Achalugo was everywhere, love in every word. They made so much money. So maybe you can focus on YouTube filmmakers. How is that? Before we go.
We have been focusing on YouTube. We have been trying to bring Google to Cameroon. Google has given us the terms that it will be better for them to monetize Northwest and Southwest, as preferably called, while joining us with the Anglophone bloc. That's Nigeria, our proximity towards Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, South Africa, and it will be easy to do a revenue share process with the Anglophone bloc. But Cameroon and the authorities in Cameroon, who believe that if that process works, it drives a motion to dividing Cameroon, which is not true. So they have finally gotten their way with the gullible nature of my brothers and sisters who today, out of desperation, want to go to Yaoundé and Douala to do films in French, have given the French organization SACEM the argument to achieve licensing the entire Cameroon as a francophone country, while forgetting that there are Anglophone filmmakers in Cameroon. So licensing YouTube or promoting YouTube is not really a problem or subject of contention, but in many cases, Ngwa Bernard and the other actors need to also get down from their high horse of thinking like they should be paid some amount of money for them to feature in some of these films. Because yes, Netflix is not coming. Netflix is gone. It's a closed chapter. It's not coming. It's gone. But now, for you to do YouTube films, you have to go on low budget productions. Okay. And they are the ones who are actually demanding.
We are going to Suffragette edition. We are going to go. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That brings us to the end of today's edition of the review. Bye. Suffragette edition. Thank you, Mr. Abogibet. We appreciate it. Bye, guys. We're done. Thank you. Thank you.
You better don't take it personal. It's straight bullet.
I swear, go during the podcast.
It was nice talking to you guys. Bye.
Nice. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Hey, Bernard, it's not personal, eh? An argument for debate. Don't have feelings. No cry, because sister tears won't come up for your eye. No cry. Unfortunately, I was taken unaware. I'll not be prepared. Don't allow me to be prepared next time.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Send me invitation for Camille. Send us our invitation.
All right, Renee, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're always welcome.